j2panel and j2panel. Losing a lot of breath there, Robbie.
I'm big man. Never done.
We were joking.
I'm not in con form right now.
Yeah, we're not in con shape, you know. Robbie does a lot of running during the conventions, and we've been off the circuit for a bit. We have a medical professional in the house.
There are a couple times since we hopped back on stage, and we were like,
Did you make it back on stage this time? Would that be?
This time was no problem.
Was there no problem this time?
No problem.
Last night I noticed that. It's weird because I don't see a lip here.
Yeah, no, this gets.
It's almost like the understage monster grabbed your foot.
Yeah.
Were any of you witness of that last night? Okay, we don't have to make it physical. This is Rob getting back on stage and like, I'm like, wow, he's taking stage diving to like a whole new...
I like to do the opposite.
Like diving on the stage.
On the stage, that's how I do. Yeah, it's the opposite of normal stage diving. But the other thing is I felt like this carpet smelled funny, and I needed to...
A little investigation, a little investigative work.
Yeah, that's right.
Right mid-song.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, so real quick.
We're good, up quick.
And then we're back to Prince, yeah.
Rob Benedict, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, man.
That young lady, I seem to have lost my compadre here.
Well, it's because Director Rich got a roll.
Oh, Director Rich is this way. I'll carry your chair. Follow me.
Hey, Jared, is he calling you Sam again?
Is he Rich?
Did he call you Sam when he told you to go over there and help him with something?
Yeah.
Right.
So Rich, whenever he's directing, calls us by our character names. So
don't worry, no one's looking at you. I don't want the young lady not to be able to see the show because she has to look at her translator, so she's gonna... Oh, this is gonna be fun. And they're all looking at you, it's okay.
Hi, Venus. Can I, love you.
Love you too.
It got quiet. It got really quiet. You ever make a joke? This is like really loud room, and you make a joke, and right before you make a joke, everybody in the room stops talking at the exact same time. You make a joke, and you're like, oh god. Like, that was my outside voice. So that just happened. But I do love you, Rob.
I love you too. I heard the whole thing and made me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Don't fall down.
Who's first time? Not mine. Being totally honest. Jensen and I, the royal bearded we.
Royal?
It sounds cool. I don't know. Your words, not mine. The sexy bearded we.
Where's this going?
We wanted to say thank y'all. Y'all are badass.
Some of you should all take your pants off back there. Look, if you say it, he's gonna play it. So just let's mind our P's and Q's. The great thing about Steve is he doesn't move. He just goes, because you can't see his foot. It's like, I don't know who's doing that. Brilliant.
Please answer. We obviously take your shoes off. We obviously are in full hiatus mode. And so this is actually one of those weird parts where this convention specifically is unique because y'all know.
I'll translate. You people.
Y'all know about the show exactly what we know about the show. And during the year, that doesn't exist. During the year, we know what's going on. We know 5 storylines ahead. We know 7 storylines ahead. Here, we are all caught up and we get to be fellow fans of the show. So thank y'all.
You people.
That was there a chicken in the house? Thank y'all for
I think there's a zoo exhibit out in the aquarium.
the Phoenix Zoo. Thank y'all for being. Let's hear it for the Phoenix Zoo. Yeah.
Does that person, do you work at the Phoenix Zoo? Okay.
How many people work at the Phoenix Zoo? There's like 80 people.
So like, we all do.
By the way, it's a Sunday. Who's watching the zoo? Jesus. I heard 100 people yell like, yeah, we're at the Phoenix Zoo. Like, nobody's at the zoo right now. There's just a giant line at the Phoenix Zoo with parents like, our kids need to take a nap. No one's here to collect our tickets or buy our general admission. All right. Love y'all. Thank y'all. We're going to get on to some questions so we don't waste y'all's time. How are you doing?
You people. We're going right? We're going right? Stage right?
We're going right, baby. We're going right.
Okay.
Hi. First, I want to thank you for Purple Rain last night because it was
Thank you guys. I want to, they probably, or maybe they did, but that song was never even rehearsed all the way through. Like, they basically sound checked it about 45 minutes before you saw it, maybe an hour before you saw it, and it was just like, what you guys did, maybe half the song or a quarter of the song. It's like, I think this is how it goes. You know what, we'll just figure it out when we're playing it live. That's how yeah, so it's only going to get better.
Well, it sounded great. I wanted to ask about how AKF and Yana kind of correlate to each other, and on your opinion on how you kind of came up with the idea to have them be together.
To have what together?
Always keep fighting and you are not
Oh,
alone.
got it. Well, I mean, I think one of the things Supernatural has been able to do as a show, and then further with you people, is we've been able to open up a conversation and a dialogue that there's something really special about this family. There's something really special about the people that are in this room.
And the Phoenix Zoo.
But I think Jensen and I and Misha and several friends and other members of the cast realized that we're kind of a cool. People will go like, you know, you actors live in your own world, and I'm like, we do, and it's awesome. You should see our family because y'all are our own world.
You people.
It occurred to us, I think it occurred to us all that you know, for me, AKF, and Always Keep Fighting, was something that I literally, legitimately needed to kind of remind myself and tell myself. And so for me, it meant a lot. And then Love Yourself First meant a lot as I progressed through me finding out who I was and kind of the steps forward. And the same with You're Not Alone. Just these ideas that, you know, every now and again, something means something to you, and then it develops and it grows without losing the foundation of always keep fighting. But now you know reasons to always keep fighting, or ways to always keep fighting, to realize you gotta love yourself first, to realize you're not alone. And I bet people today in the photographs that say thank you to me, they say, you know, I was in a bad place, thank you for getting me through that. And I have to tell them honestly, I did not get you through that. You got you through that. I hope, and I believe, and I hope that I was there to let them know that they were not alone, but it was their strength and their sacrifice and their fight that got them here today. And so if anybody's out there feeling the same thing, thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi. Okay, sorry, really nervous. Okay, so I've seen that baby's actually described as being a manual transmission, and I've noticed on the show that she's actually an automatic. Is there a reason for that? Like, was it easier to find an automatic, or can you guys not drive manual?
When was she described as When was it ever described as a standard?
I think it was described as being a standard
When?
in the books.
Well, there's your problem right now. The TV and the movie are always better than the books. For you readers out there, I'm just joking. No, but I'm serious.
It's definitely more fun to look at.
No, it's always been an automatic. However, I can drive 3 on the tree, I can drive 4 on the floor, you name it. But luckily I don't have to, because that just adds a whole other element to the ballgame when you're talking about remembering lines. Sometimes I'm having to like put the slate in for the camera. Sometimes we're having to set our own shots because the cameras are inside the car. There's a lot going on inside that car. The fact that I don't have to manually shift gears is one thing I don't have to worry about. So. Yeah. What? My dean is showing?
I tried to button up your shirt.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah!
I don't even know if I know what that means.
How are you?
I've always wondered, for people like yourself in your line of business, are you able to watch a TV show or a movie and actually get absorbed into the story, or do you guys get lost in like analyzing what's going on behind the scenes?
Great question. I am rarely able to really get absorbed in the story because I see so much and have so many opinions on what's going on behind the scenes. That having been said, it helps me weed out a lot of junk that I probably shouldn't watch. And so I get to watch some really cool shows like Breaking Bad and GOT. And I get to watch my new friends on Outlander. So yeah, so it is different. I think it's probably like being a musician and hearing music to where you're like, oh my God, they're playing the same chord over and over and over again. Compared to hearing somebody that's doing something new or interesting or really like trying something unusual. And so I think where I am in my career, for me personally, it helps kind of cut the fat. You know?
I'm going to parlay that question and ask Billy, when you hear somebody like tearing up the guitar, are you just listening to it as a fan of the song, or are you kind of listening to pick apart what they're doing and then are impressed by or unimpressed by what you kind of can decipher from your musical knowledge?
Yeah, it just comes down to melody, you know, and if they're doing something that's completely something I've never heard before, whether it be on a violin or a trumpet or a saxophone, if it's something unique, I always try and pull from that and use it in my own, you know, repertoire.
You find inspiration from other people's music and stuff like that. Yeah. That's cool. And then, yeah, I think that he and I, all of us within our own kind of medium, is, you know, I'm the same way. I think it's helped me weed out a lot of bad productions. Just going, wow, it's really horrible lighting, and the camera's not doing anything, and the actor's really tall. That I don't know if that actor's hair, if he's trying to be a girl, or if he's... John Snow. But it's cool because he finally cut his hair. Oh, you haven't caught up. What are you trying to say? Nothing. He cut his hair? Yeah, because he's a smart guy. Yeah, I will say that when we do find really good quality programming or a really good movie, then and things where we look at and we're like, oh wow, that was a really good take, or that was a really interesting scene and the way that they shot it, or stuff like that. We can appreciate that, but at the same time, we can allow ourselves to get lost in it because we're appreciating the art that they're providing for us to listen or watch. So, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
It's my first time. I'm having a blast.
Awesome.
The question is, how did you like doing the roles with Charlie?
Doing the roles, like work, like doing the episodes with.
Yeah, the episodes.
I mean, look, I think it's no secret that we love Felicia and we love what she brought to the show as you know, just a talented, beautiful human being. But you know, talking more as far as the show is concerned, the character was really great because it was kind of that sister that the brothers, you know, maybe never had or never knew they wanted. And so I think that dynamic really made it pleasant. It was there wasn't like oh, who's gonna hook up with Charlie kind of a thing, or oh, is this gonna be a romantic? There was from the get-go. Yeah, maybe your sexual orientation maybe had something to do with it. Yeah, maybe. But generally speaking, like that's an issue when you bring female characters. Generally speaking, if there is a yes, generally speaking.
I guess I heard that you wasn't holding the microphone.
I didn't hear it either.
Charlie was an awesome character. Felicia Day is an awesome human being.
Generally speaking.
I think for us, it also was a cool opportunity for Supernatural. And there are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that even we don't know. In the casting or whatever happens, we don't make that decision, you know? Like we love Sam and Dean, and we, for a large part,
We
love you too. You guys are awesome.
But a lot of things happen in the casting of the character, the writing of the character, that doesn't cross our desks. I'm glad Felicia did. I'm glad that's the way it worked out. And she was awesome, her character was awesome. People ask me a lot, like, what I want to do after Supernatural ends. And I say, Supernatural's not going to end.
Wait, what?
Shh, I'll tell you that. But if it ever did, I would want to work with people like Felicia did.
Well, let's be clear. Supernatural will never end. The show might. But what is built, this will never end. Clear that up.
Alright.
My question is, what is the average amount of shenanigans that go on in one day? And what is your favorite?
100%. My favorite general shenanigan that happens on set is that No, I said general. You see what I'm going?
About as many shenanigans as happened like within the past 5 minutes. It's pretty much par for the course when we're actually working and supposed to be professional.
Yeah, I think for us, one of my favorite things that happens on set regularly is that we'll have a guest star come on the show, and Jensen and I will be like horsing around, goofing off, and taking jokes, flip the life, and they'll be like, okay, and action, and we'll break into character, and the guest star's like, what? And there was even one of the shaming people punting things. One of the videos was about us like messing around. It was like action. Thank you for your time. And that, what was it? Taste the rainbow. Yeah, taste the rainbow. All that, like that's what happens. And then they're like action, and we start acting again, and the guest stars are like, where am I? It's weird. So that's probably my favorite. But you gotta keep it light. As Ken Manners, may he rest in peace, said, he said, this is his words. He said, I spend more time with you than I do my wife, my kids, my dogs, my home. So if we're not having a good time, why are we doing this?
Thank you. I will also add that we never miss an opportunity to have said shenanigans. We can be in the middle of a very intense scene, and if an opportunity presents itself to make a joke, normally professionals resist the urge to break character and make a joke in the middle of a scene while the cameras are rolling and other actors are intense and the scene is intense. We will rarely ever miss the opportunity. We will blow the take purposefully to make the joke and then go again. No, at this point, jeez. Which just really throws guest stars off. My favorite response from one guest star, she just like, after about 3 or 4 takes of him and I just like, and then the crews, they now don't waste opportunities to like, I'm sitting there with like an EMF and I'm going through this locker room and it's like really intense and the music's really intense and there's a camera like kind of following me and then the camera stops and I walk into the shower room of this locker room where I'm looking for ghosts and the B camera was sitting there waiting for me to turn in and it was going to film me doing the, this and then I turn around and I'm out and I'm back on the A camera. Well, the entire B camera team had taken all of their clothes off. And I had no idea that this was going on. And we're talking the camera operator, Brian Rose, we're talking the folks puller, Clayton, we're talking the camera assistant, Peter Hunter. So I think it was just the three of them. Oh no, and the dolly director, Steve Gilmore. So there was four of them, just all that, I mean, they had their underwear on, that was it. They were pantless, shirtless. Actually, I think Rosie was completely naked. And just standing there, like, just waiting for me, just like this. And I just did one of these, I went, and they used that tape. They used it. So, there's very rarely wasted opportunities to just act like idiots. And we relish that.
And if you can imagine like a diving board at a swimming pool, if you can imagine standing on the very edge of the diving board, holding an egg and a spoon, any movement is going to make that diving board shake, is going to make that egg go like this. So that egg is the camera. So when the camera operator is sitting there, he is absolutely still. So one of my favorite shenanigans to pull.
Here, you be Brad. I'll be Brad. And you be you. So I'm Brad.
His camera, and his eyes.
I got a handheld on my shoulder, and I mean he's rock solid. He's a fantastic camera operator.
Amazing.
One of the best. And don't tell him I said that. But you know, he'll be doing like say my coverage, so I'll be on camera, and Jared will be just off camera.
I'll be Sam, and I'll be like, hey Dean, you know, I think we should check this out. And I start to walk away, and then I stop. And so now Jensen's the only one on camera, and as Jensen's saying his lines, I'm doing this. Yeah, Dean, no, I mean it. The vampires are in the nest. The zombies are gonna get us. And I'm laughing. Jensen is acting, and I'm like, hee 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 hee.
And sometimes Brad just has to sit there and take it. The worst is when Jared somehow, I think you just grab them out of the makeup bags when they roll by, you're just like, I'll take those for later. And he'll grab some tweezers. And he'll start plucking ear hair while Brad's holding the camera.
And nose hair.
Oh yeah, you got nose hair a few times too.
So I'll be like this. And he's trying to stay so still because when he laughs, and the camera goes like this.
And the director, the DP, or the tent, like not seeing all the stuff that's going, they're just watching the image, and they'll be like, "What the hell is he doing?" I said, "Brad, why are you shaking? Cut!" Well, what's funny is Brad never sells Jared out. He's like, "I'm sorry, I can use another one."
He said, I'm crying with laughter.
Yeah, it's the gag reel to almost any season, especially the later seasons, could probably be 3 to 4 hours long. I don't know how they sift through all the material and decide, you know, what's what, but
When does season 11 DVD come out?
September.
Because I have the gag reel on my phone.
I do too.
There are people who have questions. There are people who have questions.
Yeah, that's right. We should do that.
Seriously, if you put that gag reel, I can wait.
This is something else. I'm checking my
I'll answer a question while he checks his email.
Okay, first off, thank you for coming to Phoenix. This is my sister's and my first time, and you guys absolutely rock.
Thank you.
Now I have a question to both of you as Sam and Dean. Since Crawley has called both of you both Moose and Squirrel, does that make Crawley and Rowena Boris and Natasha?
Yes.
Well, it does beg the question of what does that make Castiel?
I think it either makes him fearless leader when he had Lucifer in him, or he was Dudley Do Right. Your choice.
that they do wrong. Thank you, do that. Yeah, sometimes they win and sometimes they don't. Because sometimes you eat the bar and sometimes the bar eats you. I don't know. I don't come up with these dumb nicknames. These spirit animals. However, I did see a guy today wearing a t-shirt that said, Jensen Atkins is my spirit animal. Is that you? Yeah, buddy. Right there. That made my day.
My spirit animal is brisket. You know what I'm talking about. I know you know. Texas.
You almost fell out of your chair just then.
Brisket! That's not an animal. Can't take you
Well, it used to be. We want to get technical.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We
How are you? You don't know how I am? I'm good, how are you?
I love you guys so much. I'm really excited. This is my first convention, but I was wondering if you had any tips on auditioning and maybe how to get past maybe not making a role.
I told this story earlier in my, I was going to say my private, but
Did you flush when you were done?
I also walked in, it was maybe 10:30 a.m. and I walked in with a beer because I thought it was a Diet Coke when I grabbed it. And I hadn't opened it, and I was like, I should watch my language. It's 11 a.m. And somebody was like, yeah, and you have a beer. And I was like, oh my God. So I gave that beer away. Who drank it? Who drank that beer? Good on you. She's passed out. She's been drinking beer since 10 a.m.
And she's 13, so way to go.
I have a story. So 10 years ago, I've been doing Gilmore Girls for a while. I've done some movies. The original Dean. So I've been doing Gilmore Girls, no big deal.
That's all right. I worked with the original Sammy. Those were the lives. She too was a long-haired female.
The best ones are.
I don't know. I've
So
got
I-
short-haired females in here that are pretty cute today. You know who you are.
I was doing I actually bought a house, and I had some friends over, and one of my friends, her name is Angela, she was a friend of my girlfriend at the time. I was giving a tour, and I had like 30 scripts by my bed. And she was like, oh my God, have you been on that many auditions? And she was just starting in the business, and she's a comedian. Her name is Angela Johnson. And so when she was just starting, she was a friend of my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, oh my God, you've been on so many auditions. And I was like, I'm sorry? And she's like, have you been on all those auditions? There's probably 30 scripts, maybe 40. And I was like, house tour time out, walk with me. And I walked her downstairs into the garage where I literally had file boxes stacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, probably 30 file boxes full of scripts that I did not get. And I was like, those are the auditions I've been on. And her jaw kind of dropped, because at the time, I mean, I was a 20-year-old kid who had just bought a house in LA. I was a successful actor, but I had heard no 1,000 times. And each time, and I've been very public about varsity fighting, but each time that I heard no, I took it personally. It hurt, it sucked. It's like somebody saying, like, not picking you for their team. And you're like, you know what, what's wrong? Like, maybe something's wrong with me. And I learned with the help of my family and friends and my second family that being told no doesn't mean you're not enough. It just means you're better for something else. And so after 1,000 no's, my favorite yes was this dude called Sam Winchester. So my advice on auditions is don't take it personally. When you hear no, it's not your loss, it's their loss. And keep going.
There's another little thing I think you ever read. Don't wait for no. Just keep going. If they come back and say yes, then it's like, oh, okay, I already moved on. And that's the way I do it. I go in, I give my final performance in that audition. And then I leave and I'm like, okay, what's next? If they call me and say, hey, we want you to come back and read for the producers, and be like, oh, okay, well, I'll come back and give one more final performance. And each time I walk out of that door, I leave it out there, I leave it behind, I'm gone. That way when they do come back and say, you know, we decided to go with somebody else, I already moved on mentally. And that helped me a lot on all of those. And I remember that I know exactly what project it was that I got told no on, that I took so personally, that I immediately hung up the phone and put a hole in my drywall with my fist. And I called my dad, super upset. And he gave me that advice. He said, son, you gotta walk away from it, give the best performance, but have that be your final performance, unless they want an encore. Don't wait for the encore. Move on from that.
I have a question. What was that role?
Really?
Just kidding.
That's right, I haven't about it. However, no, it was for a TV show, it was for a pilot. No, this was early, this was a long time ago. Shane booked it. Yeah. You guys wouldn't know it because it never went. It was a pilot. It's as though, imagine we shot the pilot of Supernatural and it didn't get picked up, you would have never seen the pilot. So pilots get made all the time and you never ever see. So this was a show that, in my opinion, I thought I was perfect for. It was a role I was like, oh, this is, and it got down to me and one other guy. So I was,
Who's a buddy?
yeah, who was a friend of mine, and it still is, and
Of ours.
yeah, and so, but and it wasn't like I wanted him not to get it. I just really wanted it. And when I didn't get picked, and I thought I had it in the bag, when I didn't get picked, I just really, really, really took it hard. That show then got made without me, and then never got picked up and never made it to a series.
Because you weren't in it.
Years later, I was telling our buddy about that, and he was like, that should have been you anyway, it probably would have gone. And I thought that was a really cool thing for him to say. But anyway, he's doing fine. I'm obviously doing okay. But it was the way that I reacted to that I never wanted that to happen again. It was after. Just after. Yeah. How dare they?
I have this one too. Funny.
You just realized you went out and sang along.
And I was like, dude, this year at Jensen.
I know the perfect guy. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for your advice about auditioning too, because that was, I feel like myself included, there's probably a ton of people in here that are inspired to act, and it was great to hear that from professionals. So my question is kind of personal. It's more directed towards Jared, but I would like your input on it too.
That's fine.
So have you guys ever, had some unhealthy coping mechanism, and how did you get out of it?
I've only had unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Is there healthy coping mechanisms? Because I have not found them.
I don't know, drawing or something.
Well, that's
Drawing or something.
draw. No, that would be unhealthy because I would then look at what I just drew and realize that I sucked at that too.
So, is your question about auditioning or coping mechanisms?
Thank you for the auditioning, but the coping mechanisms, because I know some people turn to drugs or alcohol or self-abuse, and I don't know, it's just it would be nice to hear from some people if they had experiences
that's
like you guys.
a huge, wildly important question. And very, 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 very near and dear to me and my heart, my family, and my soul. Unhealthy coping mechanisms are very unhealthy.
We established that.
Yeah, I consulted and still consult a professional, a doctor, about how to learn to cope more properly with pain, with sadness, with depression, with anxiety. It gets really scary sometimes. The world's it can be a scary place. Even from where I stand, and I'm a 6'4" white dude who has a career, and I get pretty scared sometimes, and I get pretty worried. And sometimes my wife isn't there to tell me it's all right. Sometimes my friends aren't there to tell me it's all right. My friends aren't there to tell me it's all right. And I choose to listen to the bad instead of the good. So I went to a professional, and I'm proud of it. And I'm certainly not qualified to give proper advice, but to say, and I hope this doesn't sound like a cop-out, but to say, if I wanted to learn how to be a kickboxer, I would go to a kickboxing professional. If I wanted to learn how to be a nutritionist, I would go to a nutritionist. If I wanted to know how to be a surgeon, I would go to medical school. I wanted to learn how to take care of my mental health, so I went to a mental health professional. And I'm proud of it. I truly wish that for everybody. I think there's a weird stigma right now where if you go hey, if you say, I've got cancer, so I went to a doctor, people are well, yeah. But if you say hey, man, I've got some wild anxiety, they're oh, well, just relax, which doesn't make sense. I think we're moving in the right direction as a society, but there was something going on in my head I was controlling. That is not dead today, So, but I go to a doctor, because something's going on. It's one of the answers. There's no shame. There's no I talked to somebody about I'm feeling sad. It's what? Why are you sad? You're rich, or whatever. You know what I mean? That. So greatest blessings in life was realizing before it was too late that I wanted to figure out what was going on in my head. So that's my message.